Coach Botso here again. We're going to look at in this video with the Beyblades how we can get some angular velocities and angular accelerations and whatnot. What we're going to need here is just a built Beyblade. So here's just one I tossed together real quick. And what we're going to need to do here is we're going to have to get a kind of like a tongue depressor or a tongue stir, and we're just going to tape this sucker to the top of our Beyblade so it sticks out a little bit. We're going to see why we need that in a second, but just grab some Scotch tape. You get a bunch sitting around. Snag a little piece off. And then we're just looking to tape this right onto the top of our Beyblade. Okay? Doesn't need to be anything fancy. It's just sticking right there. This thing's super light, the tape and the tongue depressor, so it shouldn't influence any moments of inertia. Technically it does, but for what we're doing, shouldn't change our calculations very much. The reason why we're going to need this is we've got these vernier photogate sensors, and as the top is spinning around, the toothpick or tongue depressor is going to cross just barely over the photogate sensor, and you can see just how close these are going to get when this happens, so be careful when you do this. But it's going to pass over the photogate sensor, and when it does that, you can see this little red light on the back here light up. That lets you know that the photogate is blocked. And what will happen as it's spinning, and it'll go whoomp, and then go off. But that brief, tick of the on-off will be everything that we need in order to get measurements for how fast this is actually spinning. So the best way to do this is to actually get someone in your squad to spin this top so that it's moving nice and quick. Get it so that it's not darting across the room, but it's just spinning there nice and stable. Hopefully that happens early. If it doesn't, you might want to spin it again. And then just get a second person in your squad to bring this over underneath and slide it underneath there so that as this top is spinning, you're getting that detection. It's also very important when you do this that you try to get your measurement at the same location each and every time. As we know, as this top is spinning, as you move further out on your arm, your moment arm here, you're going to get a higher linear or tangential velocity. So it's important that you place a point somewhere away from the center of the Beyblade that you are going to be measuring at. So if you wanted to measure at the very end here, then you'll need to put a point at the very end and make sure that this detector stays over the very end. If you have your point a little bit further in the middle, then place it further into the middle. Okay? That point will matter to figure out how much angular velocity this thing has. The other thing we need to be careful about is, right here I'm using a LabQuest 2, but we'll be using the LabQuest minis in class. You can see right now the gate's unblocked, and if I cover it, it just goes blocked. Something we need to be careful about is whenever it's doing the photogate timing, it is doing timing based off of what's known as the vernier picket fence, and that's a pre-built vernier object that has a set distance. We're not using that. We are using a small tongue depressor in order to get our timings. So what we need to do is down at the bottom here, you'll see there's a user defined section, and we'll have to find this on the LabQuest minis in class, but we need to click that user defined, and right now it's set at 0.05 meters. You'll have to measure the width of your popsicle stick and place in that value here. What's going to happen is as this passes across the photogate, it needs that distance measurement of the tongue depressor, popsicle stick, whatever it is you're using, in order to get a velocity and a distance measurement from it. So with all the calculations done in the background here, we need to make sure that we set that properly. Otherwise, it's going to go bonkers on us. So we can do that. We can, keep everything here, and then we'll be ready to start collecting our data. So that's our general setup. Get that popsicle stick on, place the dot where you would like to measure along it, and then we'll be ready to start getting our photogates once you change that width measurement to sit to the popsicle stick.